Greetings, founding comrades, and welcome back once again to Bee's Knees, our cozy little foundation town. We took a quick 2-week break to focus on Next Fest Feast, and now we're back. And today, what we're going to be doing is, I believe we're ready to begin our meat production. Our meat production is going to alleviate the consumption of bread, as we'll have a second source of refined food. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned while we were streaming the game over on Twitch, which is, I'll tell you in a bit. So first of all, we probably don't need to be foresting this place anymore. I think it's about as reforested as it'll get. So I believe we can find the forester, which was right there, and just clear that. I think one of the most useful tips for bigger and bigger cities is try to keep your areas, your painted zones, a little bit clean. It really helps if you don't look at your town, turn on your paint overlay, and there's 70 different paints overlaying where you're like, what was that again? For example, all of this wood cutting, we can just take that away. We've got a little bit more wood cutting to do over there. And yeah, let's see what we've got over here. I think we're going to have to buy more territory now. Our money was a little bit wobbly, if I remember correctly. Let's take a look at our budget. We still have a good income, so it's not awful, but we're also not rolling in dough just yet. But I think it's only a matter of time. So what we're going to start with is I definitely want to purchase these 2 territories. This is going to increase our upkeep by 50. But we'll be able to take care of that with our income. Plus, oh, mineral deposits were discovered nearby. Where exactly? I think that just sort of pinged for something else. Oh, let's take a look at all these deposits. I love this button now that shows us which deposits they're thinking of. I think, is this what you're referring to? Is that nearby? I think that's nearby, supposedly. The rumors are true. That's nearby. Okay, so when we're hunting, you want to hunt in deep forest because boars will not spawn in just regular forest. And actually, I see that we can reforest a little bit more over there. So let's see if this forester can get over there. Otherwise, we can always move her. So I think this will be fine. She could be moved a little bit closer. But where are we going to put her? Over there? And then she's going to chop down her own trees. So maybe, yeah, maybe we will actually move her over there. We'll just take this forester and we will put it right here. Wonderful. And then let's talk about getting some meats. So for hunting boar, you want to have a hunter's hut. And now I'm wondering where we want to put these huts. I definitely feel like maybe over here would be a good idea. They're going to be a little bit far away from their place of where they reside, their place of residence. But I think they'll just have to deal with it. It's not that far of a walk if they manage to live in one of these houses. We are gonna at some point have to wall things in. I've decided that walling in is definitely what we want to go with because it does get harder and harder to make fortification work. Although, well, maybe I'm not 100% decided. If we look at the fortification overview, we actually have fortified most of the core of our residence. So maybe we'll get away with it. But later on, there are some good buildings, but unless you want to just make really tall towers, it's kind of easier to just wall yourself in. I did choose a riverside location, which makes the walls a little bit less logical because why would you wall on the inside where the river is? But you know, it's fine. This is fine. So we're going to have one hunter's hut over here. And I'm wondering if we want to maybe just double up on the hunter's huts or if we want to build one here as well. I think we will build one here and even triple down over here because we can start selling this meat. We can start selling and smoking these meats. Sorry, I'm moving the camera very frantically. I'm just excited to be here. All right, I'm gonna put this here just so that we preserve those berry bushes for as long as we can. And she's still got her reforestation area painted. I think we can paint here as well. Is that some iron I see? Or stone? I think that's stone. Wonderful. Okay. So we've got the production of tools. Now, did we start selling tools? Did we set that up last time? It's kind of important that we check in case there's a little something extra money that we could be making. Which of you buys tools? They buy tools. Let's go ahead and check our resources and see if we are selling tools. We are in fact doing the opposite. We're buying tools if they drop too low. We have last time set up the production of tools, so we should be fine. In fact, I think we have 2 warehouses which store tools. I don't see tools here. Let's look around a little bit. That is a big warehouse. And there's one. Ah, there's tools. Okay, so we can say we want tools to be at... This is 200 slots in the 2 warehouses that we have, plus the 50 over there. But I'm going to say 150 is about a decent spread for our tools. So we'll go over to our royal book and we are going to open the tools section and we're going to say we're going to start selling at 150. So that should bring in quite a bit of money once that's going. Also, again, a good way to keep an eye on your industry is if you just set up a brand new industry and you're not 100% sure of, did I set up my ratios correctly? Like my sheep to weavers to tailors, or, you know, for the production of tools, it's very complex. You need coal, you need iron, and then you need to make those into bars, and then you make those into tools. Did I set that up correctly? Displaying all of these together shows us that, in fact, we are running low on coal. We have more iron than coal, and that is the bottleneck for this right now. And I remember that we set this coal up here. Bartholomew, what a great name. We set this coal up here, but because we decided that we're going to be removing all of this forest, we now don't really have any coal coming in. So in order to help with that, we need to figure out how we're going to produce more coal. Now, one option would be that we sort of sneak over here across the river. I've already decided that over here we're not going to build because it's just too small of a territory. This is at the edge of the map, and this is one of the changes that I would really love to see in the game, is that they would let us just buy completely to the edge of the map. But I suppose it keeps the edges of town from being completely squared. But if we buy this, we can treat this forest as kind of removable. We'll never get deep enough to do much proper hunting. You can see there's a little bit of hunting here, but if we actually show where the border is to this region, it's not that much boar. It's a little bit of extra boar, but most of the fun boar stuff is actually out of range for us. So this could be a nice place where we could perpetually be chopping and renewing. For now, because we've already bought the territories over here, I think I'm going to set up a forester. I am planning, so we talked about this a few videos ago, but we planned a sort of, I'll use the hunting zone. No, you know what? I'll use the forbidden zone to show you what we were talking about. So we thought that the farms could come like this in a sort of, you know, semicircular arc. And then we can have the hunting zones on the outside, the wild zones, and then over here can sort of be the city zone. Now, this does mean that there's a lot of space where there's no wood. If all of this is city, there's a huge area with no wood. So I am tempted a little bit to maybe change things up. Or if we go in like this, we can maybe put the forest at least a little bit closer. Not that it makes too much of a difference, but it will at least mean that we can have a relatively active coal gathering operation here. And in my experience, a single forester can be enough for 2, maybe even 3 coal gatherers or woodcutters. It really depends on how effective they are and how well you've set up your stuff. But this will be a forester that we cannot just move around like we can this one. So I'm actually going to put down a new forester. This will just be a permanent forester living here. Now let's get rid of this forbidden zone, just so that we don't accidentally leave it there and then wonder why people are pathing in strange ways. There is more iron over here, so we got to keep an eye on that. I think maybe that's a good indicator of where we want the farms to end is there. So like farm from here to here. And so I will do a forester. If I can find it. There you are. Forester is very small. Cute. Let's put it over there. And then let's add another charcoal hut. I don't like to combine charcoal huts too much because they are kind of a very specific shape. So if you put 2 of them, it's always very obvious what's happening. It's not a very pretty sight, so we might still move this around if necessary. Maybe, you know what? If we move it away from the edge here, they might eventually put a house here. And that could disguise it a little bit, at least a little bit better than if it's 2 of them here. I think that's better. Now, let's just tell them that they are allowed to put a house here. I want to see if they will do that. Wonderful. Okay. Villager path blocked. What was that? Who was that? What were you trying to achieve? So there's another charcoal hut over here. This was the one that we used to clear all of this forest as well. Now, we could also already bridge over to this side and just start chopping the trees down, as we do eventually want to move here. And once we do that, once we make that move, it's going to be kind of difficult to like clear everything quickly without just wasting the wood. So I think it's Operation Bridge Time. Let's go. Bridge time, baby. Oh, and we also have to actually buy the territory. We own this one though. So yeah, let's just buy both. Now this is going to be a little bit of a strain on our economy, but I think it's nothing we can't handle. Now we just need to make sure that this bridge is walkable. Sometimes with rivers, you might actually see a little bit more success if you raise your bridges higher. I found that they were having a lot of trouble pathing, and I thought maybe bridges themselves were broken. Maybe I just built it badly. And that's really the answer, is sometimes you gotta go taller with the bridges. Oh, look at that. A little, what is that? A truss. Oh, that's cute. A little decoration for our bridge. Oh, that's very cute. Actually, let's go with that. It is meant to just be a very temporary bridge, but why is it like off center? It's not correcting. Oh, look at that. And then presumably, oh, that's pretty. All right. I've not made much of a wooden bridge before. In our other town, we have a different kind of bridge. We have the medium bridge, and that one is really nice and cute because it combines stone and wood, and I really like that style. Okay, so we are just going to paint this whole place with hunting. And because this is sort of a permanent paint, I'm going to also just... I'm going to overpaint the river a little bit, and then I'm going to trim it. Just to make sure that it looks nice. Because this is kind of permanently where we're at. So we can easily paint the full thing. And that's kind of the fate of this forest sealed. And we're just gonna go with a little bit of a trim. And another bit of a trim. And that looks pretty orderly. I actually want to fix this little corner here. A lot of the time when you find yourself painting areas, you might find yourself going like, oh, I don't like that. And then you delete it and you're like, I don't like that. And then you keep like trying to get the perfect shape the first way around. Really what I find is the best way to do it is to overpaint where you want the precise shapes to be and then shave it off. It's kind of like the opposite of drawing inside of the borders. It's more like you're sculpting. You're essentially shearing away the stuff you don't need. So it's good to start with a thicker block. So it's like chipping away at a stone as opposed to painting in something with a paint. I think that's a better way of thinking of it if you want to, if you're always struggling to get these nice clean lines, which over here I'm going to try to get actually some nice clean lines as well, because it is, again, kind of the, oop, don't do that, kind of the permanent situation here. So cleaning it up at least a little bit is going to get us a satisfying picture every time we look at the brush overview. It is not this nice on stream, let me tell you. On stream I've made a whole mess. But here, I feel like we're just like painting. That's lovely. I love just a little... It's one of those things that does anybody ever... I don't know. I mean, most of you probably just play for yourself. You don't stream for other people. But whenever I'm streaming or making videos, I always feel bad about putting in these little details because I'm like, oh, people want me to get to the point, and here I am just, you know, adding in little details. And so I think I'm trying to commit to the idea of like, no, this is what we're doing. We're putting in the details. I don't know if anybody else struggles. I feel like I struggled with this even when I wasn't creating content. Not that I'm doing this professionally, but even when it wasn't in my mind that somebody's gonna see it, I always felt like, oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm just wasting time. I should get to the point of the game. And I remember when I was maybe younger or more carefree, more unaware of the constant passage of time, I felt like, oh, our bailiff left. I have had this happen on stream as well. Very interesting. It's gonna have to be Dizibod. I want the happiness. What is Dreward's current job? Is he, what is that? A baker? Okay, we're gonna go with Dreward then. But yes, what was I saying? Oh, so I used to have this like thing of like, I would play any game and you could spend hours and hours just polishing these things and having such a like detail-oriented thing. Just being like, I want it to look nice. And I would be playing like Age of Empires, you know, an RTS that is more action-oriented than city-building oriented. But as a kid, I would just spend so much time working on something like that. But now I'm always like, oh, I'm playing it wrong if I focus too much on the details. But I feel like we really need to maybe take the time, clean up the little edges, you know? I think that's nice. It's a good thing to do. All right, let's see over here. Now we can just say all of this can be cut. So we are going to clear this island, and if there's any trees that at any time we want to put back in, we can always reforest. It always feels kind of finite to cut down trees, because in some games it is. You know, in Caesar or Pharaoh, I was always so scared of, like, ooh, if I clear these trees, they are never coming back. But in this game, it's really not a concern. You can just reforest anything. The most finite thing you can do is destroy these nodes. And even then, if you play with what used to be the default, the nodes would destroy over time anyway. Now in the default, they are infinite, but they used to not be. Okay, so we have plenty of iron coming in. We still need more coal, but hopefully this will resolve itself now that we're adding all of these new things. Now, let's just let this grow for a moment and check back in. Okay, I have another pro tip, hot off the presses, which is maybe when you actually set up your meat industry, you should finish what you started and not just let it run. We set up to hunters, but we didn't do anything to process that food. So let's set up a butchery. We're gonna set up just the one. Now, I still feel like we could probably do something more interesting here with this slice of stuff. So, I think we're going to change things around over here. Let's do that real quick. So, we're just going to do a little small amount of change over here. I think first we're going to just widen this area. I'm going to take this mining camp, and I think I want to put it over here. So that'll be our border on this side. Like this. That's actually wonderful. And then we can very easily see that this will fit over there. And I think that this will be a slightly nicer shape, and it will allow us to, let's actually say yes to that move. And I'll say yes to this move as well, even though I'm not 100% finished with this, but we'll just do that so that it's easier to see what we're doing. And then we want to think about where we're going to put our granary that's going to pick up the meats. Just smoking these meats. Gonna have a granary. It can be out here. I believe that will be fine. We can even maybe place it slightly over this. Although now that we have idlers at every corner of a granary, always a little bit. I feel like we should have indicators for idlers. That would be pretty great. Like where the people are going to idle. Okay. So we have that, and then I would also like a gathering hut because we have berries out here, and if we put the gathering hut here, I think that would actually be pretty neat. We could obviously put it out here in the forest, but I feel like there could be room. Are you room? Yeah, look, that's walkable. And it could sort of be a little, you know, a little thingy over there. Wonderful. Let's get that set up. And so this will be the halfway point for our meats. And they can gather all the meats from there. And then I will have a butchery. I was originally going to plan to put the butchery over there, but I think that's not quite possible. But this sawmill... important sawmill. I think we temporarily moved this sawmill as far as I recall, which means we can probably yeah, this gathering hut will eventually move as well. We can probably move this sawmill somewhere else, quite honestly, because there isn't really much chopping going on over here. We don't want to chop those trees at all. And we kind of have our chopping being done. Where actually are all our woodcutters? We had a temporary woodcutter somewhere in this department. Ah, there you are, lumber camp. And that's kind of operating for a while now. So I think we're going to move our sawmill down here. Just for the time being. They don't have to be here forever, but I think this will definitely keep them out of our way for a bit. Until we have the final... See, this is so nice. I'm still getting used to the idea that you can just move things around. Until we have the final thing decided, it's almost just like we can do whatever we want with these sawmills. You're being moved, aren't you? Why didn't that move? What? Are you guys moving this? Or are you just building a new one? Did I move a different sawmill? Wow. Interesting. I don't know what happened there. But there's room over here. We didn't know what to put over here anyway, so might as well put a sawmill over here. For now, for the time being. I do think we definitely need to shore up our place of where we're going to do wood cutting. Cannot use all of that forest for hunting, maybe. In the end, we might have to give up some of that. Oh no, we made a bleak fair. So sorry to all our people. Okay, so I got distracted by all the meats. So we've got that going on over there, and now we're going to have here a little bit of space. Oh, there's a woodcutter over there. A little bit of space to put a butchery. And let me just grab that torch before it gets absorbed into a building. Just be over there for a second. And I'm just going to put this right here. And then this lumber camp can also... Slumber camp. This lumber camp can also move... Gee, we could probably just move everybody down here because we're clearing that. Clearing this island. So, might as well, you know? There's a little bit of space here. And I'm so used to just being like, oh, well, I've misplaced it, and that's not a good idea. But yeah, just move things around. Honestly, one of my favorite features of this release. Villager path blocked. What is your problem? Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to do? Okay, so this bridge is not working. Is what we've learned. Oh, it's not finished yet. That's why they can't get there. The bridge isn't finished yet. Okay, well, that's not as bad. We could also make a backup bridge over here. But frankly, I don't want to do that because I don't want to then, like... There is nothing as permanent as a temporary solution. So I'm afraid of moving something temporarily to a place and then it will never leave. So for now, we're just going to put... We're going to work with the things that, even if they do have to stay, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to try 3 butcheries. I'm not 100% yet on the ratio that there needs to be, but I think we can squeeze these butcheries together. Here. And then this can take... So that one's going to be taking the meat and the berries. This one can still take... I think this one can also take the boars. We're going to have double boring. And where is the closest? Is that can't be our closest granary. Oh, there it is. Oh, wonderful. There's plenty of space over here. So we'll just add another one and we'll say, you gather the meat. Perfect. So the meat will now be traveling from there to here and then be processed here and then go over there. Now, have you guys finished this bridge? this is not looking so well. It looks like the builder can't even build the tools to finish this. There we go. Maybe this will work. Let's see if they can cross now. Hello? Will you be able to move? Might have to raise it over here a little bit. It doesn't seem like they can go there. Oof. This is now a much larger bridge. But if it can work, I would like to actually see where the... Okay. The collision line is a little bit... It would be nice to see it. I think we're going to move the bridge over there. Make this taller. And let's look at the collision line. See, it's again in the way. But I don't want to be doing too much. I also don't want to accidentally destroy one of these houses. No, maybe over there. Yep. If we gotta do that, we gotta do that. Now it's gonna be a lot taller. There's definitely a path over here. And if you're finding these fences in your way, you can just put something with a collision, like a bench, over the fence. Oh, yeah, it does delete it. For a moment, I thought that we did not successfully delete it, but there you go. Okay, let's see if they can build this. And I'm actually just going to remove the decorations because I would like this to be built sooner rather than later. Villager path blocked. Everyone is freaking out because they cannot reach their destinations across the river. And we might actually go with 2 bridges. I know I said I don't want a backup bridge, but bridges have been pretty buggy, so backup bridge it is. Also, it seems strange that we cannot alter the height of this one. Is it me just... Oh, look at the height indicator all the way up there. Okay. Just put it a little bit higher. That's been the problem that we always encountered with our bridges, is you have to put it a little bit higher than you think. And it might look a little bit silly, but then it actually functions. So let's build those. See how that works. Okay, our first butchers are done. The boars are stacked. These are not getting built because we're out of wood. We need these bridges, man. We need these bridges. Waiting for a builder. Let's high priority this. And see if we can get these built yesterday. You know what? I'll just add another builder's hut. Shouldn't that be under logistics? Builder's workshop. Yep. Oh, we don't have the wood for it. Well, we might have to turn to chopping some of our hunting trees if this doesn't work. Which is fine because they can always be regrown. Wool for the king. We do have a lot of wool. I'll have that. Oh, you know what we can do? We could probably buy some wood. I've never bought wood, but surely somebody sells it. No? Nobody sells wood. I mean, I guess wood grows everywhere. Oh no, Trotbury. Trotbury. I shall do the unthinkable and buy wood from you. And let's stop selling planks for the time being. Actually, even if we do sell them, we should sell them over there. All right. Let's do it. All right, the rest of our butchers are done. which also calls for an expansion of our market. Now, we really are going to have to do a beautiful new town center at some point and get that church redesigned as well. But for now, I think I'm going to go and just add another stall somewhere. These are all temporary market stalls of doom and madness. I think over here actually work. Yeah, surely that works. Let's see how much wood they bring in. Oh, okay, this is being built, so we actually do not need the workshop. Goodbye. What's happening here? Oh, they're moving the sawmill. Has the bridge been constructed? Okay, finally. Now the villagers should be able to reach their destination in this island and start chopping things down. Okay. Minor crisis averted. No access to rustic food. That's a new one. Let's high prioritize this gathering hut now. Our fisher people are kind of struggling to fish, which is really annoying given that we're next to a river. We should just be swimming in fish. Literally. But there isn't really much fish over here. Okay. Accidentally invented a crisis. I did not expect this, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you are a very capable leader, and other times you create chaos, confusion, and madness. I think I'll leave these empty for now. I'm sure at some point we might need something else. And the gathering hut should be finished in a moment, giving us access to a lot of bonus berries. I think it's time, maybe next time, for us to make a monastery. A serf left. Wow, things are looking very dire. Very dire indeed. More dire than we imagined. Are we selling clothes, by the way? Yes, we are. Okay, good. Are we buying berries? Let's begin buying berries. And I'm also gonna... Oh, we can't buy fish. Nor vegetables. I think it's time. Next time, we should get into the monastery. Because that will give us a good supply of berries and a good supply of vegetables. For now, though, we really want to make sure that the berries start flowing in. There's the sawmill. The meat production. The large amount of problems that we're getting, or the large portion of the problems that we're getting, that's what I was going to say, is from the fact that I'm just not decided yet on where our permanent stuff is going to be and where our temporary stuff is going to be. If you remember the plans from a few videos ago, still not 100% decided, but I think it's taking shape here. And so I think we just need to boldly get into it. And so once we get that, we're going to then have a lot of other things clarify themselves. And I think that's going to be very lovely indeed. This other bridge isn't being built at all. It says waiting for a builder, which to me implies that it's inaccessible. Let's just throw it in the trash. We do not need it. We have a bridge now. People can start chopping the trees. And the wood will slowly start coming in. We just had a little bit of a hiccup with the wood, but now it should be fine. Villager path blocked again. They're trying to fish, but they cannot reach it. I don't understand what this means because... Graciosa, where do you work? You are a fisherman. She goes in here. She goes in here. And she can actually reach it. So what is it? What is the truth? It's not the truth, Ellen. Alright, we have our sawmill. Sawmill's waiting for the lumber. So did we just build an extra sawmill, or was this sawmill here before? No, these are high-level skilled sawmillers. Carpenters. Interesting. Okay, we've got newcomers coming in. Where are our merchants? We want to buy more berries. They bought 10 shirts. Who's bringing the berries? Let's investigate. Berries. Northbury sells berries. And no one else. Oh, there's Northbury. And they brought us some berries. Lovely. Can we improve our trade with someone? Improve the Trotbury trade route. What do we have with Trotbury? I remember we already mentioned it today. We can buy meat from them, but who can we sell meat to? We're selling shirts to Trotbury. Selling bread. Stone. Polished stone. You know what? Polished stone is an easy, kind of almost infinite supply of gold. So I think we might want to expand our Trotbury trade route. And for the polished stone, I'm going to say we want to sell over 150. How much are we storing? Are we just storing 100? Let's investigate. We're not storing any here. We're storing some here. I think those are more main warehouses. Our only warehouses? Oh no, there's one down here. That's fine. I think we should just reduce it to 125. Just so that we can actually keep producing more. Oh, let's just do 100. Let's be brave. There we go. Wonderful. And now we can start selling the meats. And that should also make sure that at least some of the food needs are being met. Why are the meats not visible? We have 250 meat. We should start selling meat if it's over 200. Okay. What's your problem? Missing raw materials? Well, we have hundreds of wheat. Oh, but it's just wheat gathering season. But why would you say missing raw materials? We have wheat. What's happening? Interesting. Oh, well, I just noticed we ran out of time. So somehow, despite all of the hard work we've put in today, we've ended up with a crisis. Actually, no, I think we solved all our problems from, we didn't solve problems. We resolved the goal for today, but unfortunately, I think we didn't set up to succeed last time because we just did 2 tutorial episodes, and in those tutorial episodes, I was kind of ignoring the rest of the town. I was focusing specifically on establishing the sheep, focusing specifically on establishing the tools, and now we kind of neglected the food and we neglected the wood. And so in the next one, I think we're going to resolve those issues. So sadly, I'm not able to share that little secret that I learned that I mentioned at the start of the video. We ran out of time. I did not plan this. I thought today we were going to be doing 2 things, not the one, but you know, it's fine. So I'm sorry to be misleading you with clickbait. Oh wait, no, it's not going to be in the title. So it's just like watch bait. I'm sorry. But next time, I'm sure we will get to it. So now I won't promise it until I'm actually putting it in. So thank you so much for watching, for hanging out. I hope that you enjoyed this one. It was a little bit all over the place. We're returning to the town after 2 weeks away, and the last 2 episodes that we did were tutorial episodes, which kind of means... Oh no, we did have the 100-person episode, but that was kind of just like rolling through it. So it does mean we have to fix the economy next time, and I think next up is the monastery. So that is probably in the cards for next week. And yeah, I'm kind of scared to promise it now because of how today went. But I can't see anything else that I want to do right now. I want to get the food under control, and the monastery is a great source of a lot of different varieties of food. And it's also a very fun addition to any town. So I believe that next time we will be tackling the monastery and hopefully resolving this little crisis that we created. Okay, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate you spending your time over here. It is so lovely. Today I'm recording at a very strange time, so I'm a little bit quieter than usual. But I hope that you enjoyed the video nonetheless. And if you would like to come chat with me live, you can always come say hi at Improving Trade with Trotbury. That's where you can come. No, at twitch.tv/lulling. Let's just do this. Hold on. This is nicer. There we go. Oh, what a beautiful color. There. Yeah, you can come say hi at twitch.tv/lulling, and we can chat, and you can tell me all the things I did wrong. And you can also come see what we're up to over there. We're playing some RPGs at the moment. We're going through Dread Delusion, which is a very funky sort of retro style, Morrowind reminiscent RPG. And then we're playing Soul Reaver, the remake. So it's another retro thing, but in a remaster. And I'm also playing BioShock, the remaster, for the first time. So technically, I'm a retro gamer now. Wow, I didn't even realize until I just rattled those off. And we're playing a lot of Dwarf Fortress. So if you want to come say hi, there's bound to be exciting stuff happening. Thank you so much all for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate your company. I'm rambling, aren't I? Okay. I'll see you around, everyone. Oh, and don't forget to check out all the demos that we played in the last 2 weeks. I forgot to mention that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, last 2 weeks we've been playing so many demos. We tried 8 different demos for Next Fest Feast, and all of them were very interesting. So go check them out. Okay, I will stop rambling. Goodbye, everyone. Stay solidary. Until next time. Bye.